I've been walking over 7,000 steps a day for the past 8 months, and today I'm going to explain why this might just be enough for you and why 10,000 steps could be overkill. So there's a study that was done with adults who started to walk over 7,000 steps a day, and this study showed to significantly reduce the rate of mortality and increase health benefits. And so in my experience, I found that I know YouTube censors certain topics now, and so I won't say the word for it, but that event that started in 2019 and really affected most of us in 2020, lasted through to 2022 and was officially over in 2023. We'll call it the event. I was in Canada and we had pretty extreme and extensive Loch Nesses that were down. Anyways, there's certain words, I'm just going to use little riddles to talk about them, but I didn't have access to a gym for a lot of it. Gyms were closed for a lot of it, and different things were happening where my workout routine had just kind of fallen to the wayside for a little bit, and I found that I was becoming more sedentary. And so for me, once this event was over and I wanted to be a bit more mindful of my exercise routine and get back into something more similar to what I had before the event, I decided to start step counting just as a way of starting to get back out there again and moving my body a bit more in a healthy way. And if you've been more sedentary, going from sedentary to 10,000 steps a day is really extreme and could actually cause harm to your body. So different things like your joints, your knees, your hips, different things can, depending on what age you are. If you're like 15 years old, then I don't think you'll have any trouble. But let's say, you're a little like mid 30s or older, then you might have some issues just starting to go from like zero to extreme all at once. And so I just gradually went up and up until I got to 7,000, and I hadn't been mindful of my steps before that, so I'm not even sure what I was getting before. But once I started to look at it, I started with more like 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, and 7,000 equals about an hour of exercise a day. So it's about an hour of moderate walking. And I would include other things in these steps. So I included dancing and swimming, and I would just Google, like I did 30 minutes of swimming and convert that into steps and then just add that to my step counter. And so I bought this. So when I first started, this is a pedometer. And when I first started, I was pretty serious about it. I wanted to first see how many steps am I getting naturally without trying. And depending on what I would do throughout the day, if I had to go somewhere, go into an office, go do errands, then it was very easy to get way over 7,000 steps. I would sometimes be walking, 13, 14,000 steps in a day. But then there would be other days where I wouldn't have as much to do physically, and it could be easier to be a lot more sedentary. And so having this, it just comes with a clip. I would just clip it to my pants pocket. And it was really easy to be just monitoring my steps that way and take a look at something like, okay, half the day has gone by. Have I done half of what my goal is? And if not, then do a bit more. So I wore this the first couple months just to first monitor the amount of steps I was getting, and then also to reach my goal a bit more easily. And then after that, I was just using my phone step counter. And why this has been helpful for me is that having a goal that is easily, and I say easily, like for some people, this isn't going to be easy. And so I don't want to be like, this is easy for everyone. But I mean, for me at least, it was more achievable and attainable to do on a daily basis over a long period as opposed to 10,000 steps a day. And I've seen on YouTube a lot of people doing these 30-day challenges of 10,000 steps a day, and it takes a lot of time throughout the day to get 10,000 steps. And if you live a lifestyle where walking isn't part of your job or your daily activities that you're doing to begin with, and you might have a more sedentary job or things where you might drive places, it can become more difficult to get 10,000 steps every day. And then when you have a goal that's a bit less attainable, then it's easier to just not continue with it. That's why most people get gym memberships in January and stop going in February. And they might have these goals that are unattainable, and when they start doing it, it might be going from zero again to something extreme where that's not sustainable, and it can be really discouraging. And so what I like to do for all of my goals in life, like sometimes I do like to go from zero to extreme just to try something out. And then I try to incorporate it a little bit more in a sustainable way throughout my life. But something like steps, especially when, it can cause physical issues if you're going to go from 0 to something extreme right away. I wanted to do something that was going to be attainable and achievable on a daily basis over a long period so that I could also build up my confidence with this. And so for me, it's really helped to have this goal that I achieve every day and feel good about myself for achieving, and that I know it's something that improves my health, but it's also not so difficult that it's pushing me too hard to a point where I can't keep up with it every day on a long-term basis. And so at this point, I've been doing this for 8 months, and so it's been almost a year where every day I've gotten over 7,000 steps. Of course, some days I might get 6,000, another day I might get 10,000, and so it does fluctuate, but I've been over 7,000 steps on an average per month for the last 8 months, and that's something that for me has been very doable and achievable. And in terms of results that I've found, I think that one thing is that it's more of a mental, like it's really helped to boost my self-esteem in that sense of having a goal that I'm achieving every day. It's also helped with getting a better sleep at night, and so when you are more active, it becomes a lot easier to fall asleep at night and have a deeper sleep, and you're recovering at night from anything you've done throughout the day. Again, because I incorporate things like swimming, strength training, dancing, other forms of exercise in with this, and I just kind of convert it online into steps and mark it down in my step counter. It's been something that has also been fun, so it's not just like, okay, got to force myself to walk and just walk all the time. Like it's not just walking. Like I love swimming, and so for me that's something that is very therapeutic. And so to be like, okay, I'm gonna add some steps through swimming, like I go more to the pool for mental health, and so I think it's really helped with my mental health too, of just being more active. It helps mentally to be active. And so I would encourage you, if you're wanting to get more into exercise, if you've noticed that you've become more sedentary, then start with something small. Even try to get 5,000 steps to begin with, if that's more than what you're getting, and then try to get up to 6,000, get up to 7,000, or maybe for you 6,000 makes a bit more sense. Because for me, part of those steps is cleaning. Like if I clean for half an hour, that's half of my goal. A half hour of walking around cleaning is roughly 3,500 steps, and so I've just gotten half of my goal just by cleaning, which is kind of an everyday thing. And so I think 7,000 steps a day is healthy, doable, sustainable, and has been scientifically proven to save lives. Like in the case of the study, it reduced mortality by 40 to 50%. And mortality, that means like death. Like they, instead of dying, they lived because they were walking 7,000 steps a day. And so if you want to be alive and healthy, then it might help to get those 7,000 steps a day. And it's something that in my experience has been very doable, especially because an hour of walking type movements can be easily split up throughout the day. So you could be doing 20 minutes here and there. You could also do 4 times 15 minutes. So you could do 15-minute walk in the morning, 15-minute walk in the evening, 15-minute walk at lunch, and then 15 minutes of just everyday type stuff like cleaning and moving around the house, if that's, or if you want to go for a swim, 15 minutes of swimming, you count that in. If you want to do a little dance or do some little strength training type things, that can all be included and incorporated. And I've found that it's very doable, sustainable, helpful, and achievable, which feels really good to be reaching that goal on a daily basis. So I hope this video has helped you guys. Let me know in the comments if you've got some type of a step sort of goal as your thing, or if you've got maybe more of a time-wise, like how I was mentioning, it's about an hour of moderate exercise a day. So thank you guys again for watching. Leave me a thumbs up if you found this video helpful. Subscribe if you haven't already, and click that bell to be notified every time I post a new video. Thanks again for being here, and may you be happy, healthy, and free. Bye!